Hi guys, this is a quick unboxing of the Petlibro granary automatic pet feeder with Wi-Fi controls. It's a 5-litre cat feeder, and if you've got a small dog I'm sure it will work with that too, but it's mainly for dry food delivery, and you can connect it to your Wi-Fi and you can actually access an app and you can actually deliver your food through schedules, or you can actually manually do it remotely from anywhere in the world. I've been using a Wi-Fi based cat feeder for probably over a year now. I find it super convenient, but there was one issue with the bowl that was made out of plastic, and our cat basically scraped the plastic coating away with its rough tongue. So we wanted to get a stainless steel bowl version of a similar feeder, and I do like what Petlibro does with their design, so I chose this during their Black Friday sales. Picked this up around just under £80 from them directly rather than using Amazon, which can sometimes be cheaper. So if you are considering buying this, check out their main site first. You might find that they actually got a cheaper deal than what they do on Amazon. So let's get started and see what's inside the box. So out of the box it comes as in one whole piece container. Everything gets contained inside the main area where the cat food actually sits inside, but it's like a white little capsule, not that deep, does take up a smaller footprint, which is nice to see. There's an infrared sensor here that lets you detect if there's food getting stuck inside it, and there's also a tough driver inside that rotates to eject the food, just like all the other Wi-Fi or automated feeders do, but it does detect that it's been clogged and it will actually keep trying until it ejects the amount of portions that you set it to. So let's open up the container, which basically rotates and pulls off like this, and it comes with a filter in the top. You do have to buy extra filters probably nearly every month or so, and they go in there, and that basically keeps the dry food nice and crispy and doesn't get moist and a bit awful for the cat. Get a user manual. All that is quite stuck inside, so you actually have to release these two catches on either side to pull the main drum off the bottom. So that releases the cardboard interior that's protecting the inside. And then you've got the stainless steel bowl, which is what we wanted, and a charging cable, which is nicely braided this time. Our current one is quite bad, but it's just a standard USB fitting and plug adapter to a USB-C. So if you've got a USB-C setup or a wall plug, for example, you could just connect straight to that. But here's the stainless steel dish. I think that's food grade as well, I would hope. And that all sits in this little dish here, where previously they would be like licking all that out and taking off the coating, but this can now just sit in there, and that can be put in a dishwasher or get washed out manually. And the business end is basically this part here, so all the food will sit and rest on here, and then it will go into these little blades, which will basically start spinning around and eject it through the nozzle here and then onto the bowl below. There's a couple of controls, touch controls around the outside here, and a couple of LED lights that light up for probably food, whether it's locked, Wi-Fi connection, or if there's an error. So that's nice to see as well, that you get told whether there's a problem. Otherwise the app will tell you anyway. So in the manual you get just a sticker, a quick start guide, and a general user manual. Let's get this plugged in and powered up. So here we got it all powered up. I've actually got this plugged into a wall adapter, not just for easiness for me, and it all powers up totally fine. So if you've got a wall adapter, or even an adapter on the wall that has a USB socket on it, you could probably power this from that as well if you give it enough power. Okay, so that's the reset button on the side there, like a refresh icon. To make a recording, if you want to do a recording of your voice as it dispenses. Then you've got a manual feeding button, so you can actually manually eject a portion at a time to your cat without having to go through the app. And you've got the lock symbol to lock the whole entire device to stop anyone from touching it and interacting with it. So here's the filter at the top here. You can buy these separately, and they say to replace it every 15 days. You could buy some cheaper replacements rather than using their own, but it might have to be medically grade perhaps. And it's meant to prevent mold growth, but I think it's also to make the crunchiness remain crunchy. So you put that in there like that, close it, and that will keep things fresh basically whilst the lid is closed. On the outside of the container at the top, you've actually got a readout here, so you can actually get a good idea how much food is remaining from this little window here as well, which is quite nice to see. My current one is completely all transparent, so that makes it a lot easier, but this is all encased, so it's not transparent, so you've just got that window or the app telling you, or the little warning indicator on the actual front of the feeder as well will tell you that too. So we're going to put this drum back onto the feeder, making sure that all the catch points and the window is facing towards you. That clicks into place. So we can put some feed into here. It takes 5 litres. So if you've got 5 litres, you can actually put the whole lot in. And the kibble or the dry food shouldn't be any more than 50 millimeters. So we use GoCat here. So we're just gonna put GoCat in there and fill it up to there's no maximum level, but just up to the top so you can't see any more above. That should be plenty. And then we'll put that lid on with the filter. And then the bowl has this little clip here on the bottom that just sits on the base like that, and then you can just slide, hopefully, slide that bowl in there, ready to go for the cat to nibble on. This also takes batteries at the bottom here, 3 of those big chunky ones, and that helps keep the feeder doing what it needs to do should there be a power cut. Me personally, I've never done this myself, but my power is quite reliable. But if you do live in an area that is common for power cuts that last a long time, then maybe it is something you should worth consider doing. We're just going to put some GoCat into the bowl here. Other dry cat food is also available. Right, so we got our cat food in there. Probably uses about 10, not even 10% full. And we've got the bowl warning has now disappeared on here, and it's using for Wi-Fi is flashing. So let's get this connected to the app. We've got a QR code in the quick start guide here that we're going to use. So we're going to scan that and head to the app store, no doubt. So we get the Petlibro Lite edition. So there might be a pro version of the app, but the Lite version is obviously going to be the free one. All right, so we're going to open that, and we no doubt have to sign up.
A few moments later.
Right, so we've signed up and authorized with a Petlibro account. We're going to add a device. It has discovered devices though, so we're going to add those. So we're giving it our password, and now we're going to send that password for our Wi-Fi to the feeder itself over Bluetooth, I believe. And now we're in. So we've got food and it's powered. Find out how many portions we want to give it. 1 portion is 10 grams apparently. So we can try this now. But it does need to go through the system. So the first time might not work straight away. So one sort of slight rotation of emptying the food will be 1 portion. Whether that is 10 grams, let's find out. And then we'll feed again. So that looks a little bit more this time. So let's weigh that. So that's 6 grams. Oh no, 5 grams it's now gone down to. So 5 grams of that portion. So our cat's 5 kilos, so we need 75 grams of GoCat, that's what they say. So we're going to keep doing this until we find 75 grams. So that's 8 portions, exactly 75 grams. So that's good. So just to make sure, I'm going to put that back in the top. Going to zero that out again, and then do 8 portions. Okay. So that's 8 portions. Do a quick test. Right, that's 90 grams. So back it goes. I think 7 portions is the sweet spot. Okay, 7 portions, 71 grams. So that's not too bad. But for us, we only give him dry food once a day. The evenings and mornings are done in wet food. And now we can try the scheduling. So we're going to try a schedule. So it's going to repeat every day, 12 p.m. And we're going to give him 7 portions. So at 12 p.m, 7 portions every day. And you can stagger that. You can, if you only give your cat dry food, then obviously you can do any time of day. You can have as many portion drops as you want. If you want to do a graze feed throughout the whole entire day of smaller portions, you can do that as well. But ours is out and about, and the only one who wants to feed at breakfast, lunch and dinner. So that's the only times that we feed him. So you've got factory reset, you can actually record your voice. But let's just do one more for today, which is a Friday, and we'll just do 1 portion, 2 portions. So we've done that. So that's 5:47 in 1 minute's time. It's going to drop, hopefully. So we'll come out of that. So that's ready to go. Here you can create multiple devices. If you've got multiple Petlibros, if you've got multiple of them around for different cats, you can do that. And also if you think they'll be eating more when certain weather conditions, you can say when the weather is hotter or colder. You can, whether it's sunrise, sunset, you can have it drop food if you want to, I guess, when the wind speed is available. There we go, 5:47, and there we have it. It's ejecting the 2 portions that we've commanded it to, so that's a good sign. And I think you can also set up functions, so if the food is low, it would alert you, send an email, for example, perhaps. Same with the battery percentage, or if it loses power. So here you can run automations that are without your involvement, or you can actually have commands where you can just tap and it will do something for you. And that's pretty much it with Wi-Fi pet feeders. You set the schedule for what you want it to do automatically, give it the food that you want, make sure you've got enough food in there, and let it do its thing. You can go off into town knowing that your cat's going to get fed exactly at the time that you want it to. So I'll cut to some video of my cat chowing down on this feeder to let you see how well it performs, how the cat feeds at the same time as it might be dispensing some dry food at the same time. I know that he's probably going to be devouring it whilst it's still ejecting. He does almost wait around about an hour or less just before the time actually kicks in. He's learnt that. So I'd be interested to see how he takes to this new automatic feeder. So at the front here, you can lock it, you hold it down, and the whole thing is unlocked now. So you can tap that to eject some manual one portion at a time, but the cat could then touch that if it's very clever. So you really want to lock it. So you hold that down for 5 seconds and the lock symbol will then come back on. Everything else is all locked out whilst this locking symbol is there. So let's have a go at recording our voice. Because as you can see that it doesn't say or do a sound effect or anything when it drops the food. My old one has like a knocking effect, like a knocking on the door, and the litter ejects, where this is very quiet, but for a reason, because you can use your own voice or sound effect if you want to give it a sound effect, but everything has to be recorded at the device from about 20 centimeters away. It's got auto lock as well, which is quite cool. So I'm going to do this through the app. So we're back in the app now, and if we go to the feeder, there's also a log which will show where the feeding has occurred. So you can actually make sure that the actual device has actually ejected the food at that given time. So you do know that whether he or she has been given the right amount of portions. You can also be told if it's gone offline. That's quite a nice thing to have, and you can also have it automatically update as well. So we go up to the device here, we can do recording. We're going to add a recording. It's saying that we need to be 20 centimeters away from the actual system itself. So let's do a recording. Ziggy, food time. So it's very quiet. It's going to hear the kibble coming out into the metal disc more than the actual sound effects. So that'll do. We'll see if that triggers anything. We're just going to play it back once and then we're going to add it. So we've got an MP3 there of us. Not as loud as the knocking sound in my old one. We never needed to change that. And if there was one actually in here that was default, that would have been nice. The speaker really isn't that loud. So if your cat needs an audio sound to be told when to feed, the bowl is going to be it, basically. That food hitting that bowl, that's going to be the noise. I don't think I will be using this sound effects with this setup. Okay, so back to our schedule. You can swipe to delete as well, but everything is all set for tomorrow. So that's the Petlibro Wi-Fi dry food feeder. Nice, stylish and compact Wi-Fi cat or small dog feeder. It's going to keep your food nice and crispy dry. You've got a nice stainless steel bowl for washing out in. You can remove it fairly easily. And this container is definitely going to keep everything nicely stored with 5 litres, which is quite a lot, depending on how much you feed your cats. Probably for us, it's going to be at least over a week's worth of food, if not more, before we need to change that again. But yeah, so far, not bad. And I'll leave any updates in the comments down below if I find any issues or discoveries with this system. But if you're looking to pick one up, check my link down below, and if it is affiliated, you do help support the channel, which is much appreciated. All right, thanks for watching this review. Give us a thumbs up if you found it very, very helpful. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions about this Wi-Fi pet feeder from Petlibro. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye.